What if I did the opposite for 48 hours? This is a question that I asked myself when I had my first job out of college. I was talking about suffering. My desk was in fire exit. It was completely illegal. Slept under the desk, the whole 9 yards, and don't regret a minute of it, but I was a technical sales guy, and my job was to close deals with CTOs and CEOs for multi-million-dollar data storage systems. At that point, storage area networks, fiber channel. And what I realized at one point was that all of the seasoned sales guys who were doing far better than I was doing were making phone calls between 9 and 5. I'm clearly not doing an effective job mimicking them. What if I did the opposite for 48 hours? It's a very recoverable experiment, right? If it doesn't work, then I can always go back to what I was doing. Doing the opposite meant making my calls between, let's just say, 6:30 and 8:30, and then 5:30 to 7:30. It was just a hypothesis. Maybe I can get a hold of the people I need to get a hold of more effectively when the gatekeepers aren't there. Right. And that's exactly what happened. Wow. And I started booking more meetings and closing more deals than the majority of the guys in the company. And it was just from asking that question. So there's a phrase, let me use that I repeat to myself a lot. The phrase is, don't retreat into story. So there are certain stories we all have that we tell ourselves. And some of the stories are very, very old, right? I am X. I can never Y. Oh, I always blah, whatever it is. Like, this is going to be painful, or I always f up, whatever. There's these stories, as short as they might be, these short stories that we all have. And I've really tried in the last year and a half or two, and meditation does help a lot with this, to whether you use an app like Headspace or guided meditation, to tell myself, and I'll put this at the top of my journal in the morning if I'm using something like the 5-minute journal, in all caps at the top is, don't retreat in the story. Don't retreat in the story. I might even, if I'm feeling myself starting to tailspin into some old pattern, I will go into my journal. Since I know I'll be using the journal each morning, I will put one of two things at the very top of each journal entry for the next, say, 15 days before I can forget or procrastinate or not do it. One is, don't retreat into story. The other one, which is very closely related, is actually from Tony Robbins, who I've gotten to know in the last couple of years, who impresses me the more I get to know him, which is saying a lot. State, and then an arrow to the right. Story, then an arrow to the right. Strategy. This is really important. So state leads to story, leads to strategy. I think that I would probably go back, not to necessarily my childhood, but go back to when I was really cramming and just working 24/7, and I would mandate that I spend 30 minutes a day outside barefoot on the grass. Just
during that time?
Yes, just get outside barefoot, be grounded, get out of rubber soles, spend a little bit of time outside every day. I don't think that would have sacrificed anything, and it would have improved my mental well-being and I think just general quality of life. There are many people who think, and I've certainly thought at different points in my life, if I just do X or achieve Y, these problems will all go away. And what you realize is, as you continue on this journey that is often meandering called life, you don't get rid of your problems if you achieve certain types of success. You just trade up. So maybe you had the Corolla of problems, then you trade up and you've got the used Mercedes of problems, and you trade up. The magnitude and complexity can become really challenging. And the opportunities become themselves problems, in the sense that, and many people listening might say, oh, come on, give me a break. This is such a, a 1%er woe is me story, but it's not. And I'll tell you why, because in the very, very, very beginning of your career, I do think yes as a default can be very helpful. But when I say the very, very beginning, I mean literally maybe 1 to 2 years out of college. Once you have even a vague glimmer of a notion of what you're really good at versus what you're bad at, to achieve the really big good things, you are going to have to let a lot of small recoverable bad things happen.